Question 45. Daikon. This question is also on interest rate risk management. It has swap, it has option, future, caller, and it has so many things, right? So this question is a mixture of so many things. By the way, this is my 5th video which I'm recording on a row, right? I'm just back to back. This is my 5th one. I have just recorded 41, 42, 43, 44. 44 is uploading now, and this is my 45 question, right? So for today, this is my last question. And after this, we just have 2 more questions to finish our syllabus E, which is your risk management. Yahoo! So before I go to the case study, I always have a habit of reading the requirements, okay? A. Based on the 3 hedging choices available to Daikon and the initial assumptions given above, draft a response to CEO's request made in the first paragraph of the question. 15 marks. B. Discuss the impact of Daikon on of each of the 3 further issues given above. As part of the discussion, include the calculations of daily impact of the mark-to-market closing prices on the transaction specified CEO. So you have to find mark-to-market, right? Now, let's read. Okay. For a number of years, Daikon has been using forward rate agreement to manage its exposure to interest rate fluctuations. Recently, CEOs attended a talk on using exchange rated derivative products to manage risk. She wants to find out how much the extra cost of borrowing detail below can be reduced when using interest rate futures, options on interest rate futures, and collar on the options to manage the interest rate risk. She asks that detailed calculations for each of the 3 derivative products be provided and a reasoned recommendations be made. Now, Daikon is expecting to borrow $34 million. Right? Borrow in 5 months' time. It expects to make a full repayment of borrowed amount in 11 months' time. Assume it is 1st of June 2002 today. Daikon, okay, can borrow fund at LIBOR plus 70 basis point. LIBOR is currently 3.6%. So it is, they can borrow at this. LIBOR is 3.6. That means you have to increase this or decrease this. But Daikon expects that interest rates may increase by as much as 80 basis point in 5 months time. So here it is not about increase or decrease, it is only about increase, which is good in a way so that you have less calculations. So interest rate increase 80 basis point in 5 months time. Okay, you have to increase the interest rate. That 3.6 LIBOR, you have to increase it by 80 basis point. The following information comes from appropriate exchange are provided on LIBOR-based futures or options. The 3-month future December futures are currently quoted at 95.84. This is the December future. The contract is 1 million. Tick size and tick value is 25. Option on 3 months is 1000. Again, the contract size is same. Tick value is same. Tick value is same. Option premium is given. Okay, you are only given December, so you don't have that choice that you have to March, June, or December or September. Okay. The thing is you have to decide whether it's a call and a put. It's a borrowing. By now you know that it's a put option, sorry, put, December put. Okay, and 2 exercise price has been given. You have to use both because they have not told which exercise price to use. Initial assumptions: it can be assumed that settlement for both futures and option is at the end of the month, basis diminishes to 0 at constant rate until contract matures, and time intervals can be counted in months. Margin requirements may be ignored, but that if the options are in the money, they will be exercised at the end of the hedge instead of being sold. Okay. Further issues. In the talk of CEO, in the talk the CEO was informed of the following issues. So all these issues we can read later because they are being covered in the part B, right? They are not required for our part A. So part A we can hedge the $34 million using future option. And what is the next? Caller. Yeah. So first, borrowing period is 6 months. That you have to decide. Here they didn't tell you the borrowing period, by the way. This you have to calculate. How they calculate 11 months minus 5 months. really have to be smart enough to pick these points. Sometimes they don't give you directly. Okay, the borrowing period. They just told they expect to borrow in 5 months' time. That means starting from 5. Okay, and it expects to make a starting at 5 and expects to make a repayment borrowing in 11 months' time. So 11 minus 5, 6. That's how you get the borrowing period. You need the borrowing period because you need number of contracts and everything. So current borrowing cost 34 million into 6 over 12 because 6 months into 4.3% because your LIBOR is 4.3% currently. Right? It is 3.6 but increase it by 80 basis point. Okay. So 3.6 plus 0.8. Okay. You have to add another 70 basis point. Okay, it was 3.6. Wait a minute. This borrowing cost is 4.3%. Okay. This is what happens when you're giving back-to-back videos and my head is like a kind of hang now. So sorry, I might be making many mistakes. Right from before I'm saying sorry. Okay, it's 4.3%. It is 3.6. Okay. 3.6 plus 70 basis point. Okay. So that is the current borrowing. Okay. So 4.3%. Okay. Borrowing cost if interest rate increases by 80 basis point. That is by 0.8. Okay. So 4.3 plus 0.8 which will be 5.1. Okay. Calculation will be same 34 into 6 months for 5.1%. Additional cost. What is the additional cost? Additional cost is this only. The difference 0.8. It increased by 0.8, right? So that increased amount that is the additional cost. Okay. Now you are using futures to hedge. Okay. So need to hedge against a rise in interest rate because it's a borrowing. So you have to contract to sell. You have to go short. You have to tell this specifically. For future, you have to go short. Contract to sell because it's borrowing. Borrowing period is 6 months. Number of contract needed 34 divided by 1 million into 6 over 3 because future is 3 months and the borrowing period is 6 months. So it is 6 over 3 not 6 over 12 and 68 contracts. Basis must. So 100 minus 3.6 because your current LIBOR is 3.6. You are not taking 4.3 here. Okay. 3.6 minus 95.84. This is the future price. Right? 95.84 this one. This opening future. You are getting the basis as 0.56. How much is unexpired? What is the date today? Okay, 1st of June 2005. So today is 1st of June 2005. We are taking what? Which future you are taking? December future you are taking. That means it will end on 31st December. So from June to December, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months. Out of the 7 months, when is it expiring? Not expiring, I mean the borrowing period. It is in the, okay. Okay, so it is 1st of November because 11 months. No, hold on. The 7 is okay and the 2 months. Okay, so you are taking it for 5 months, right? From 1st of June till 5 months. So it will be June, July, August, September, October. That means 31st October. So starting in 5 months time. So from October to December, November and December 2 months. That's why it is 2 over 7. Unexpired. You have to take after that 5 months. That means after October. So November, December 2 months. That's why it is 2 over 7 here. Okay, into total basis 0.16. Now, if interest rate increases, 100 minus 4.4. Okay, because it increased to 4.4 minus this basis, it will be this. This is your closing future price. If you take it as a percentage, it will be 4.6. 4.56. 100 minus 95.44. Gain on the future market. There is a gain. This is a contract to sell. Go short. You are selling at opening, which is 95.84, and you are buying at 95.4. Selling at high price, buying at lower price. It's a gain. Tick value 25. Number of contracts 68. So it is 68,000. Right. Now, what is the additional cost? Right. See, additional cost we calculated above as 136,000. With that, you deduct the profit. Okay. So that your cost goes down because of the gain in the future. That's why it is 68. Okay. Now, if you take it as a percentage, it will be 0.8 minus 0.4. That 0.4% is the gain. Okay. Now using options. So because it is option, you have to buy put option for borrowing. Okay, 68 as before. No need to calculate contract again. It will be same only. So if interest rate increases, using both exercise price, future price, the closing future price. Okay, will you exercise in both? You will exercise. Why? Because this is sell. You want to sell at a higher price. Here exercise price is higher. Here also exercise price is higher. You will exercise both. Yes. And the gain you should be able to calculate. Okay, and the gain on the options. Okay, premium also you shall be able to calculate premium into tick value into number of contract from the table. And finally the option benefit of cost. Okay, so it is gain minus your premium. That's why it is option cost for the first one and option benefit for the second one. Net additional cost. Additional cost we calculated as 136,000. With that, add your cost because it will increase your additional cost. And if it's a gain, deduct it. There are some alternative solution also here. You can go through this. Okay. Make sure that you know this alternative solution. At the end, you have to get this figures only. This and this. So make sure that you get the figures. If you haven't understood this part, do comment me below on my channel on the video. Okay. Now using call as an option to hedge. When it's a borrowing and when you are using collar, we have done a question I think previously. I don't remember. I think it's 41 maybe. So we buy put options, we sell call option, and we buy at a low price, sell at a higher price. That's why it's 95.5 is the exercise price and 96. And at this is the premium paid. This is the premium received. Net premium payable, this one. Okay. So now, rest all, this is your alternative way of working. Okay. All this. So I'm not going to go. And this is an alternative solution for collar. Make sure that you understand this part as well. Now we are going to read this part. So based on the assumption that interest rate increase by 80 basis points in the next 5 months, future hedge will lower the additional cost by the greatest amount. Okay, which is having the lowest additional cost, you should select that. So a future hedge. And it's significantly better than either option. Either option means option with both exercise price, future is better. And also compared to collar, future is better. In addition to this, future fix the amount which Daikon is likely to be, assuming that there is no basis risk. The benefit occurring from the option are lower, with 95.5 option and the collar option actually increasing the overall cost. In each case, this is due to high premium cost. However, if interest rate do not increase and actually reduce, then option and to the some extent caller provides some more flexibility because they do not have to be exercised when interest rate move in the company's favor. But the movement will need to be significant before the cost of premium is covered. On that basis, on balance, it is recommended that hedging using future is the best choice as that will probably provide the most benefit. However, it is recommended that points made in part B also considered before final conclusion is made. Now come to part B. For part B, we need to read the other part, right? We need to read these three further issues. So first, future contracts will be marked to market daily. CEO wanted for the impact of this if 50 future contracts were bought at 95.84 on 1st of June and 30 future contracts were sold at 995 on 3rd June. Based on December future contract given above, the closing settlement prices are shown in the 4 days. Second, Daikon will need to deposit funds into margin account with a broker for each contract they have opened and margin will need to be adjusted when the contracts are marked to market. And 3, it is unlikely that option contracts will be exercised at the end of the hedge period unless they have reached expiry. Instead, they are more likely to be sold and positions closed. Now, you need to know how to market to market daily, right? You need to find the gain or the loss. Now, okay, so if you see, okay, let us go market to market. 95.76 minus 95.84. It is this minus this. Okay. Basically, you should know when you are buying, when you are selling, right? You are going short. That means right to sell, selling. Okay. Now, your exercise, if you see from first and second, price is going down. Will it be a loss or a gain? It's a loss. It's a loss because you are selling. It is a contract to sell. Right. It is borrowing. We are short. We are going short on the future. So if price goes down, it's not good. So from first and second, the price was going down. The difference multiplied by tick value into contract, 50 contract they told you are going to buy. That's why it's a 10,000 loss. Going to 3rd June, price is falling to 95.66 from 95.76. Again, it will be loss because price is going down. 10 basis point. 10 into 25 into 50. Plus 5 basis point. How plus 5 basis point? 3rd June. Read here. Just read this part. Okay. On 3rd June. Okay, so 30, okay, and 30 future contract was sold at 95.61 on 3rd June. On 3rd June, it is sold at 95.61. Okay, so you have to compare that with the future price. You are selling 95.61 with 95.66 into 25 into 30, right? So let us see. Okay, so you basically here also it's a loss. You are selling at 95.61, but the price was 95.66. Again, you are making a loss. So you add both and you are getting this loss. There is an alternative way also. What is that alternative way? What was your future price in the beginning? sorry, not beginning, 95.76, that was on your but the second way is little complicated. Okay, 95.76 on the 2nd June. You compare this with your selling. You're selling it for what? 95.61, the 30 contract. But on second it is 95.76. The difference 15 basis point to 25 to 30 plus 10 basis point. Why 10? This, it is this 10. It is this 10 basis point. Okay, you will be getting the same loss only. But I still feel this first method is better, easier than the alternative method. But now it's up to you. Now coming to the 4th June. Okay, 95.74 from 95.76. When you come to the 4th, it is a little bit complicated which one to take. This 95.61 or this. You have to take it here. This two, 95.74 and 95.76. There will be a gain because if you see the price increased. Okay, that's why it's a 4,000 profit. So 16 to 50, 10,000 loss, 16 to 50 loss, and 4,000 profit. Now you need to write. Calculation is not enough. So both marked to market and margins are used by market to reduce the risk of non-payment by purchase of derivative products if prices move against them. Mark to market closes all open deals at the end of each day at the day on the, at that day's settlement price and opens them again at the start of the following day. The notional profit or loss on the deal is then calculated and margin account is adjusted accordingly on a daily basis. The impact on Daikon is that if losses are made, see, main thing is from here, starts from here. OMG, this, okay. Okay, so the impact on Daikon is that if losses are made, what you have to do? If profit is made, what do you have to do? If losses are made, company may have to deposit extra funds with its broker. If the margin account falls below maintenance margin level, all these are your theory you need to write. This may affect the company's ability to plan adequately and ensure it has enough funds for the other activities. On the other hand, extra cash acquiring from the notional profit can be withdrawn from the broker account if needed. Right? Now, we don't have so much left. Small portion. Each time a marked traded derivative product is opened, purchaser needs to deposit a margin, initial margin, with the broker, which consists of funds to be kept with the broker while the position is open. As stated above, this amount may change daily and would affect Daikon's ability to plan its cash requirements. But also open positions. Okay. It also opens position requires that funds are tied up to support this position and cannot be used for other purposes by the company. Now, value of an option prior to expiry consists of time value, right? You need to talk about this as well. Value of an option prior to expiry consists of time value. That means before the expiry, option value has a time value and may also consist of intrinsic value. If the option is in the money, if option is exercised before the expiry, Daikon will only receive intrinsic value attached to the option but not the time value. If the option is sold instead, whether it is in the money or out of the money, Daikon will receive a higher value for it due to the time value. Unless options have other features like dividends attached to them which are not reflected in option value, they will not normally be exercised before the expiry. Right. So that's it for this question. The next question is 46, as you can see here. Right here also, if you can see, it is about interest rate hedging and debt for equity swap. Right, this part we haven't covered. It's important. Right, and next is need to use forward rate rather than current yield curve for year 2 to 5. So this question is going to be a mixture of debt equity swap, interest rate hedging, and whatnot. Don't forget to watch my other videos also, and do subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Take a great care of your health and study well.